Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you guys are. I'm really excited to get to be with you guys today and to share with you some of my journey with Love Your City. It started for me back in 2018. I had just met Anna and I was starting to begin a friendship with her. And one of the first things around Boy with a Ball that she invited me to was a summer camp that they were doing over at Sarah Court. And my schedule only allowed me to be there for a day, but in that day that I was there, I was so intrigued with what I saw. I saw Kathy and I saw Molly and I saw other people loving the people of this community, and they were talking to me and telling me about the relationships that they had with them. And it was incredible. And I'd never really seen anything like it before, but I knew I wanted to know more. So I talked with Anna about it, and she told me they were there every weekend and they did walkthroughs, and then another team did tutoring. And something perked up in me when she said tutoring, because I'm a teacher. And I had observed and I'd been told that this was a mainly Hispanic community, which means that English is not most of these kids' first language. And working in a diverse school, I've seen the struggles that brings. What happens is kids are coming to school and they speak English all day at school, and they hear English all day at school. And then they go home and they speak Spanish, or they speak whatever their first language is. And so there's a disconnect somewhere there. And it puts them a little bit behind their classmates, and it makes things a little bit difficult for them. And their parents are great and they're awesome and they're supportive, but they just don't speak English. And so it's really hard for them to support their kids academically. So when I heard about the tutoring center, the thought that people would take their time out on a Saturday to help in such a tangible and practical way, it amazed me. And I knew I wanted to be a part of it. So I went one Saturday and I volunteered at the tutoring center, and I was absolutely captivated. I met Maria. She's the one who started the tutoring center here. And I was so impressed with her. I was so impressed with the activities that she'd created for the kids. And then I really watched the kids. And I was amazed at how much they loved the tutoring center. I mean, it was a Saturday, so they didn't necessarily have to be there. They could have been outside playing. They could have been at home playing video games. They could have been doing all kinds of things, but instead they chose to come to the tutoring center. And it was incredible to me. And from that day on, I was absolutely hooked. And so I volunteered and I worked with Maria and Pat in the tutoring center. And then after a while, some of Maria's college work, she had to step away and work on that. And so Pete and I began leading the tutoring center together. And I've really seen how Love Your City can have such a transformational impact on education. There's a brokenness that comes with struggling in school. And it is very discouraging to these kids when they feel like they're not doing well in school. And when they look at other kids and they see other kids reading really well, but they can't, it tears them down. And it makes it really hard for them to be motivated. So what we're doing at the tutoring center is we step into that brokenness and we fight for them and we love them. And a big focus that we have is literacy. So we create a safe space for these kids to read out loud without being afraid that they're going to be laughed at. And we got so many books donated to us from different bookstores. And so we were able to create a mobile library. So these kids were able to check out books when they came to the tutoring center. They were able to take them home and read them during the week. And then they brought them back the next week and checked out more books. So it was a great way to make sure they always had something to read. We help them with homework. We do all that. But even more, beyond the academics, we build relationships with them. We play with them. We laugh with them. We have fun with them. And we really made the tutoring center a place that the kids want to come to. And really, it's a partnership. It's a partnership that we're building with the kids. It's a partnership we're building with the families. Jen and Christine have even gone to parent-teacher conferences and translated. And so we're also building partnerships with the schools. And what's interesting is when I first started volunteering for Boy with a Ball, I thought I was just coming in to do my part to help out the kids and help with the tutoring center. But it doesn't stop there. Love Your City has had a transformational impact on me. In 2018, when I first stepped into all of this, I was really broken. I had walked away from the Lord. I didn't really want much to do with him, and I was a mess. And the Boy with the Ball team stepped into my brokenness, and they fought for me, and they loved me in really tangible and really practical ways. They were just my friends. There was no pressure to go to church. There was no pressure to do all of that. They just loved me, and they walked with me. And a couple months after I started volunteering, Anna invited me to attend a team meeting. And I said no, because I had heard that they prayed a lot at team meetings. I just wasn't in the place where I wanted to be a part of something like that. But what was interesting is eventually I couldn't stay away. And I did start attending the team meetings. And I joined the team the beginning of 2019. And several months later, in October of 2019, I prayed with Jamie and with Kathy and with Anna, and I actually accepted Jesus and I chose him, which is such a miracle in my own heart and in my own life. And then as I look at the miracles and the breakthroughs we've seen at the tutoring center, it's so clearly the Lord. The connection between walkthroughs and tutoring is beautiful. The walkthrough teams have done such an amazing job building relationships with these families that these families now trust us to help their kids because of the relationships that the walkthrough teams have built. We were able to do tutoring for a while in the Kroger break room, and the parents, Kroger is right next door to the apartments, and the parents trusted us to take their kids over there. And a little while ago, we came across this nonprofit called Corners that does tutoring during the week, and they let us use their building for tutoring on the weekends. So we just see all of this amazing stuff going on. Something honestly that still amazes me is that the students continue to come. Like I said before, it's a Saturday. They could be doing whatever they want, and instead they choose to come to the tutoring center. We even had 2 boys one day come really early. We were doing our volunteer orientation, and these boys were so excited to come to tutoring that they showed up really early, and it was really fun. But one of my favorite stories probably is a couple weeks ago, one of the high school girls from the community calls me. She told me that her sister was having a hard time accessing a test that she was supposed to take for school. So I FaceTimed her sister, and we were able to walk through it together, and I was able to show her where to access the test, and it was really cool. And then a couple minutes later, their cousin called me, and he was having trouble with some of his work. And so I was able to walk him through that. And it's just really special to see the relationships that were built and these kids being willing to reach out and ask for help because of the relationships they've developed with us at the tutoring center and because of the relationships they've developed with Anna and with Jen during walkthroughs every week. So there truly are many ways that Love Your City can transform education. It's more than looking for just an outcome. I think it's easy to want to have a specific outcome and a specific end goal in mind, but Love Your City is just so much more than that. There's dramatic life change every single week, and we're stepping into each other's stories, and lives are changing. And the Boy with the Ball team, they stepped into my story, and my life has changed, and it continues to change. And my desire now is to see that change in others and to spread that love to other people. And it's doing that through helping these kids realize that they have what it takes. And it's walking with them as they continue on through school. And it's being part of their support system, and it's advocating for them and supporting their parents. But above all else, it's just loving them. And it's watching them little by little, step by step, begin to rise up out of their brokenness and realize who they can become. And I truly consider it one of my greatest honors that I get to be a part of it.